It's episode 118 of Family Life Mornings. We're a morning radio show hosted by Steve, Terese, and Randy on Family Life, a network of stations across New York and Pennsylvania. Our podcast, a look at the moments you might have missed. New kids. New kids.
Yes.
If you haven't already, subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Find out more at familylife.org. Find out more at familylife.org.
We know you have lots of choices. Thank you for picking Family Life Mornings.
Passion is important, but when you combine passion with a skill, amazing things can happen. A high school girl in Minnesota has a passion for disabled animals. She also happens to have the skill of building, and so she has handcrafted pet wheelchairs. Now, you've seen them before with animals who can't get around, and they have little devices that help them go along. Hers, however, substantial savings to the owners. Instead of costing perhaps as much as $1,000 for some of those, she makes them for as little as $300 for her creations. Wow. So she's now not only doing cats and dogs, she's also come up with a one-of-a-kind kind of a locomotion aid for a hedgehog. And her next drawing board thing is a all-purpose duck mobile. So not only is you get a duck and so not only is your passion and skill put together for great use. Have you seen anything much cuter than a hedgehog or a duck driving a vehicle? Come on now. That's pretty cute right there.
Please excuse our enthusiasm. We just love spending time with you.
Family Life Mornings with Steve, Terese, and Randy.
Oh, what a cute little bunny. You can just picture him, right? With his little teeth and his little ears, beep, 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 and his little, puffy tail in the back, right? You picture the little bunny, right?
I want to hear you do all those things again. Never mind. Move on.
What if it's not a bunny after all? The word bunny comes from the root word bon, which is Old English for squirrel.
Wow.
Huh.
What an irritating, annoying, menacing little bunny. All of a sudden it changes, right?
You're waking up with the show that keeps it clean for you and your kids. Family Life Mornings.
Air conditioners, dehumidifiers, water systems, and a lot of other appliances use filters. Did you know, and I didn't know this until yesterday, that your microwave also has filters in it?
Am I supposed to change it?
Yes, you are. It needs to be cleaned frequently. If it's the metal mesh filter, it probably should be cleaned about every 3 or 4 months. If it's a charcoal filter, ought to be changed every 6 months or so. Wow. Now, if you're like me, you didn't know about this until yesterday. So I went and started looking at my microwave, and lo and behold, there are 2 filters underneath it. I thought, oh, wow. We've had this, we've been in our house 14 years. And since I didn't know about it, it hasn't been cleaned in at least 14 years. And I pulled those things off, and oh, my word, were they filthy.
So you say underneath, like at the bottom inside, or underneath the actual?
Underneath on the outside.
Oh, wow.
It just slid right out. Those are your kind of grease filters. Then on top is usually where you find the air filter. And they do need to be changed because they can get nasty.
You sound from experience.
I'm wondering, how many Hot Pockets do you have to cook before those get...
Family Life Mornings. The nicest way to start your day on Family Life.
It's fun looking for God in every situation. Even the simple things. I didn't even think about this until the other day when I saw a pigeon. And then a little while later, I saw a story about a dove. And I thought, a pigeon and a dove. So I started looking it up to see what's going on here. They're basically the same thing. I mean, they're from the same... there are some little differences, but they're from the same root. But one, we all look at doves as
aren't they beautiful?
Yes,
Symbols of peace.
Yeah. Pigeons we shoot.
Oh, I know. It's they're the same. And I thought same thing almost like with the butterfly and the moth. I mean, the same type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the moth just needs to change its sleeping habits because it seems to always go to the light.
Yeah.
If they would just sleep at night and wake up during the day, they'd probably go hey, I can see the light. Anyway, my point here is that God looks at everybody, loves everybody the same, whether you feel like you're the dove today or you feel like you're a pigeon today, that kind of thing, or the butterfly and the moth. So everybody, we're all loved the same by God. I'm just glad God gave the idea to somebody to name the soap the right one.
It's okay if you're not ready to wake up yet. We'll just turn the music down and talk softer.
Steve, Terese, and Randy on Family Life Mornings.
There is so much more our kids want to learn in school. They asked a bunch of elementary school kids, what do you wish was on the curriculum?
Ooh.
And I thought these answers were pretty insightful. Number 3 was how to cook.
Oh, wow. That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really smart, to like be able to make good, healthy meals for yourself. That's a great skill. Number 2 on the list was how to take care of pets.
Wow.
How unbelievably responsible, right? And then number 1 on the list, how to become a YouTube star.
Well,
there you go. Because if you're a YouTube star, you don't have to go to elementary school anymore, right?
They're here to wake you up, pick you up, and lift you up. Steve, Terese, and Randy on Family Life. A friend you can turn to.
oh, so close. So close. Maybe every year you see these stories of the biggest pumpkin, and this guy grew a 2,520-pound pumpkin. And there's a contest for these things.
Right.
This guy with that size pumpkin would have won, I'm saying so close, would have won $22,680. However, the rules stipulate that it can't have something like what this pumpkin had, a fingernail. I say fingernail-sized crack in the pumpkin's exterior. So he was disqualified just because of the rules. Now, I don't know if he was upset or what his demeanor was afterwards, but I can only imagine if they asked him, have you ever seen a precedent like this, something large with a crack in it and it's worth something? He goes, duh, Liberty Bell.
This is Family Life, a friend you can turn to.
A couple bought a 100-year-old house, and then they immediately put it up for sale. But you can't buy it because it's not the kind of sale you're thinking about. The house was put on 28 plastic barrows, and then with a bunch of small boats, it began a 56-mile trek across the bay. Sailing, that kind of sail. 5 hours later, the house had a new location, and now it's no longer up for sale.
Huh, how about that? I'll take that house to go.
Yeah, right.
Facing a brand new day is a whole lot easier when you remember that God is in charge.
This is Family Life Mornings with Steve, Terese, and Randy.
They're listening. Always listening. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, but they're listening to outer space. And in New Zealand, they have heard some mysterious radio signals, not as weird as the ones you hear coming out of Family Life, but definitely some mysterious radio signals coming from the center of the Milky Way. Now, I know you don't know this about me, but I'm a scientist, so I intercepted some of their communication. And, well, let's just listen in. New kids.
Yeah.
That's what's in the center of a Milky Way.
Milky Way.
Yeah.
Man, who's on that project? The Three Musketeers?
The most fun way to start your day.
Family Life Mornings.
Mrs. Wessel is my favorite teacher ever. Now, I never had her. She's currently a science teacher in high school out in the state of Washington. Now, you remember the other day when I recalled the story in my high school days where my senior year, teacher said, we need order in this class. And I stood up and I said, 2 burgers. And she actually turned to me and she said, okay, Mr. Smith, you think you're so funny. You seem very well prepared. She sounded just like that. You seem very well prepared. You need to stand up and do a 5-minute speech tomorrow at the end of class on comedy. And I went, all right. And I did, but I didn't get any extra credit for it. I just had to do it. I think that was sort of punishment.
Did anybody laugh?
Oh, yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. One of my great high school memories. However, this is why Mrs. Wessel is my favorite teacher. She wanted to give extra credit for a quiz. So she said, if you can make me laugh hysterically, kids, write down a joke, and I'll give you extra credit. I mean, they get extra credit for it. Wow. I just had to do it as kind of like a punishment. You want to hear some of them? Just come on.
Your
Say
jokes
yes,
are
Steve.
kind of like a punishment.
Not mine. These are the kids. These are high school
Oh,
kids.
yeah, then I definitely want to hear the kids.
Yeah, that's right. And
yeah.
one of them said, "What's the best thing about Switzerland?" And they go, "I have no idea, but the flag is a big plus." I mean, if you know your
Because it has
Switzerland
like a big
flag.
plus sign
right,
on
right,
it. Yeah, yeah.
What does a chicken say when he sees lettuce? Chicken sees a salad. Chicken sees a salad. But here's my favorite, and it's really getting into the teacher because it's about a biology teacher. A biology teacher grew human vocal cords from stem cells in the lab, and the results. Well, they speak for themselves. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. These are high school kids.
Biology humor.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they get extra credit for it. I just had to stay after school and give a speech.
Steve, Terese, and Randy. Because you can never have enough friends. We're Family Life, a friend you can turn to.
So the email starts out, "Dear Professor, I will be late to class today. I am not sure how late. I've been trying to find a way out of my room for 20 minutes, but there's a very big bug between me and the door. And when I move, it moves. Right. When it flies, its wings make this awful whirring noise like a vessel of horror. We're locked in a stalemate. I'm at every disadvantage, and I wholeheartedly believe this big bug is aware of this."
Oh, no.
Excuse from class. I wonder though what class. Like, was it
What
creative writing? Was it entomology?
How old
like
was this
which
person?
It's a college student.
A college student, you said. Okay.
The bug was big. It was a big bug.
What was it, a 20-foot snake?
That's a whole nother email.
Yeah. Get to class. Get to class.
If you stick around long enough, this will all start to make sense.
It's Family Life Mornings with Steve, Terese, and Randy.